All right, y'all, welcome back to Honeycomb Hollow. We're here at the hives today. We are going to do another inspection. It's been 1 week since we did our last inspection. 3 out of the 4 hives were having problems. We could not find queens or the evidence of queens. We think they're queenless. We got to get a queen right. We got to figure out what's going on. Hopefully they made a new queen and she's doing her thing. We're going to check that today. In the 4th hive, if you remember, we did have some activity of the queen, so we're going to find out how she's doing and if she's still there. So right now, the beehives are not doing very good, and we're about to find out what we need to do and come up with a plan. So let's get to it. It is about 11:30, close to noon. It's very hot out here, probably 85 degrees. The sun, there's not a single cloud in the sky, barely. Most of these bees should be out foraging. If they're healthy, if it's a healthy hive, they should be out foraging. So we shouldn't see too much activity. Technically, probably don't even need these suits. But I'm still a new beekeeper, so I like to wear it. It gives me confidence. So we're gonna go ahead and check the first hive right now. So what I've got here is a deep here and a super here. I was hoping that they were going to come up and make honey for the July honey flow, but it did not happen at all. This super on top has got absolutely nothing in it. Got a bee, one single bee. There's really nothing going on in here whatsoever. So we're going to jump right to the bottom. You live, you learn, right? Guys, don't touch your smoker at all. And don't touch it when you have your gloves on. I'm using this deep right here just to have a place to put these frames when I pull them out. Now I know that the activity is right inside of here. I can see the bees. Wouldn't you know, my smoke went out. I think I had it too hot and I waited too long. Remember, when this thing is been used, it is very hot. Yeah, there's not much left in there. This looks good. I still got a tiny bit of a flame down inside there, so I may be able to get this to ignite. Leaves would be nice, but I don't see any. Well, there might be some dried up leaves over here.
Some dried grass maybe on the
Maybe, but it rained a couple of days ago, so I'm not sure how wet everything's going to be. Looks like it's already starting to catch.
Nice.
But yeah, this is all part of beekeeping. It happens. When your smoke goes out, you got to get it back going again. Bees are still doing okay over there, not neglecting them. I guess it's hot enough in there to get all this going. There we go. And you don't need too much smoke. Just a little bit like this here. Calms them down a little bit, makes them go deep into the hive. Now we know most of the action is happening right in here. You can see right down the side of here, you can see all the action right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this first frame. I'm going to move nice and slow because we don't know if there's a queen. Well, we have honey. Not much at all, just a tiny bit. And you can see right here I broke the comb when I was pulling that out. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to taste it. Light, sweet but light. It's nice. Of course, we're not going to get any honey this season. As far as I can tell, I know it's just the beginning of July.
So will there be more honey as you get towards the middle?
There should have been all honey by now. I should be having this whole top super that I pulled off down here. That should be full for July harvest. Now, being that it's completely empty, tells me that everything that these bees, if they even survive at all, everything that these bees do is going to be to get them through winter. Because they're not producing, there's no queen, or queenless, or new queen. See, nothing's going on. This is all honey. They're making their honey. They're getting it set up for for their food. But if they don't make enough, they're not going to have enough to get through winter. If you look down here, you can see that there's a whole bit of capped honey right there. What we really would have wanted was that whole entire thing filled up by now, and all these that I just took off. Just going to slide it over. Take a look down the side. It looks like capped honey, some nectar down there, maybe some pollen. Now we're getting down to the brood section. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did checkerboard this because I wanted to try and inhibit some movement throughout the hive, and they didn't do anything with this side at all. It's completely empty. Now, this is definitely stuck together. So we're probably going to break some honey. We're going to break some cells. We're going to be really careful here because if there's a queen, she's most likely going to be in this area here. What I see is a lot of pollen and a lot of bees that look really bored. See them all hanging around here in this black area? They look very bored. They're not doing anything with it at all. They're walking around. So this hive is most likely not queen right. Queen right, of course, means a good queen who's laying. All right, let's check this next frame. At this point, we're looking for a queen or the evidence of a queen. And evidence of a queen means we see eggs. Larvae is good, eggs is way better. This is a heavy frame. We got a lot of brood on this side with some nectar and some pollen, a little bit of honey up in that top corner. Now, I'm looking for a queen right now. I don't see her. Now, it's easy to miss a queen, especially a young queen. If they had to replace her superseder, she would be young and small. Now, these big ones here, like this one here, see, and this one over here, these are drones. Drones are bigger, and they have bigger, fatter bodies and fatter heads. Their eyes are bigger. A queen will be longer with a pointy abdomen. And I don't see her, and I don't see any evidence. Now, I do see some larvae. You see down deep in these areas here, you see the little worm-like looking things? Little white, milky white thing. Those are larvae, which means something's laying, but it's probably not a queen. From what I understand, in the absence of a queen and her pheromones, one of the other types of bees will grow their ovaries and start to lay, but they won't lay like a queen. You need a queen for a hive to be healthy. Okay, still nothing. That's heavy. Okay, so we got a lot of nectar. Got some capped honey on this side, pollen, some brood. I see no eggs whatsoever. These are black frames, so if we had eggs, we would see a tiny little white dot, like a miniature grain of sand, inside there. And we don't. We don't see that at all.
What's that big piece sticking out on the bottom?
This over here, that's just a oddly. Oh, so that would be a cell. Well, doesn't look like a queen cell. Looks awfully small. Could just be a misshapen cell. Now I don't see a queen. Once again, looking. I see drones. Wait a minute. I see a queen.
Where?
Right here. She's not moving much. Do you see her right there?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very small queen right there. She has very small wings. She has a long abdomen. See her? Right here. She's checking the cells.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Okay.
Good eye.
This is good. This is good news, which means we want to, right now at this point, we want to just go ahead and close this hive up. We don't want to take any chances of hurting her. Very, very gentle. Leave everything back in the same exact place that it was. This is a good sign. We're going to come back in about a week and a half and see if we have anything else going on.
How long does it take for a queen to mature? Do you know?
It takes, I don't know how many days, but it takes a certain amount of days. There's people that know the math on all this. I don't. But it does take her time to get going, and hopefully she will get going. Hopefully she's mated. The fact that there's larvae in there tells me that, but I didn't see any eggs, but that's okay. They could be over here on these other frames that I didn't see, that I didn't look at. Now I want to take these and push them nice and close and close it up. We're going to go ahead and keep this super on here in case they decide to just explode and start drawing this comb out. Now that they have a queen, which we didn't see last week. And we really looked. We spent a lot of time. Okay. All right, so now we're on hive number 2. A little bit more activity in this one than we had last week. Still nothing up here in the super.
Can you look at something real quick?
Yeah.
There's something on the front here. It's kind of odd looking.
A what?
What's that white thing?
A white thing. Oh, that's a piece of honeycomb. I put it there. I was hoping they would use some of the wax. It doesn't look like they did. I just peeled it off the top.
Okay.
Off this top board. Burr comb, I think they call it. Okay. So again, nothing happening up here in the super. And they had plenty. They did propolize it a little bit. They had plenty of time to work it out. So we got our activity right in this area here. Not too much activity going on here in this area. They've drawn out a lot more comb than they did last week here. I think last week we just had a couple of these little things. We didn't have all this. So that's a good sign. Nothing on the outside. Now there won't be any queens this far out. If there's a queen, she'll be She'll be inside of here with the brood. Okay. Nothing on that side. This was a checkerboard. And pretty much the same thing we had last time. This is a swarm cell here.
What's that mean?
But it's empty. Oh, it's a queen that they grow that's raised so that the hive can swarm and go make a new colony out there in the wilderness. Now this is interesting. It looks like we got something. Oh, that's a dead bee larva. Could have been a queen because it looks like it came out of a superseding cell.
You think they killed it?
Maybe. Here's another one right here. See, but they're going to close that over. This is not it. This is probably a drone. The fact that all these are drones right here, you can tell because they're really tall. Yeah, they're working it. They're going to cap it over. The fact that these are all drones is really kind of evidence that this hive was probably queenless.
So all those larvas right there are...
The top ones, the ones that are really tall.
Oh, is that larva down there? I can see white things
Yeah,
inside
that's
those.
larva. Okay, this is a heavy one.
Nice. They're hanging off the bottom even.
Got a lot of brood happening here. We have a lot of larvae. I'm not seeing any eggs at all. You can look deep into those cells. I don't see any white dots. Maybe it's my eyes. I probably should have my glasses on. And a lot more over here with a superseding cell over here, what it looks like to be a superseding. I'm not an expert, so I don't know.
Is this honey that needs capped up
Yep,
there?
they're still filling it. It has to get to a certain level of humidity before they cap it.
There's a big cell down
Yeah. And that one is...
there. If you hold that up, it might have bees hanging off the bottom. Or it did.
I don't know what they're doing with it. I'm not going to break them at this point. If I see any queen cells or superseders, because if the hive is queenless, they may be trying to grow a queen, and we don't want to mess up their chances, right? So I don't see a queen on this one here. That doesn't mean I didn't miss her. There's a lot of bees here, so let's go ahead and stick this down right here. Check the next one. Doesn't look that busy from where I'm standing. This one here looks like the busy one. Okay. Yeah. I don't see much going on here at all. This is what makes my back hurt. This slight bending over. Like if you're just, maybe I should have built these things taller. Okay. I'm going to have to go through this one even more because not seeing a queen. Nothing. Nothing happening there, nothing happening there. That, ladies. Nothing happening here or here. It's a very odd looking comb. I know, I see you trying to sting me. Can't tell if that one's got one in it or not. It's a queen cell there, see it? No need to go past this point. Well, let's double check this one here. This one's got some capped honey on top. Looks like nectar down there. This one's got nectar in here and some honey that looks like it's about to be capped. This is where they keep their food stores. Not much at all. Big ass queen cell right there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see if there's anything in it. So let's go ahead and put this back together again. So hive number one, we have a queen, a young queen. We are assuming that she is mated, which means that she was born and took her first mating flight out there in the field and hooked up with a drone. Drones, that's their only job, drones. For the most part. They breed with the queens. And then she comes back, and if she did good, then she's a mated queen. So hopefully that first hive, that's what's going on there. And this hive here appears to be queenless. So we're gonna have to make some decisions about this hive. Do we buy another queen, or do we wait another week or so and see if another one's made? At this point in time, I'm already at the point where I'm pretty sure we're not getting a honey flow. We might get a late fall one if they start doing well, but my hopes are very low. So we may have to buy a queen for this one here. And it's still not too late in the season to buy a queen. There are plenty of places out there. Be very careful where you buy your queens from. Reputable places only. And the good ones only sell them for about between $35 and $50 a piece. Plus shipping, of course. Place I found, I'm not going to name them. They're $40 a piece with free shipping up over $100. That's a good deal. Now you'll see a lot of these places that are trying to sell them. They're trying to sell them for $150, $200 a piece for a queen. Don't do it. You're just getting ripped off. Okay. Well, we have some comb up in this super. Not a lot, but we have some comb up here. We're not going to disturb it too much because I can tell that they're still working it from here. But there is comb right in this area here. So, most likely for their honey store. Okay, there's some good activity happening here. Okay. You get one of those magnetic belts. Double. Quick draw. This frame here has got nothing on it at all. It's a completely empty frame. See? Okay. No, not a lot going on there. A lot going on there. Anything capped over yet? But it definitely has some activity. Okay, so they drew it out. I got some very dark honey over here. You see it? Mm-hmm. Capped over. I believe this is a swarm cell that's already been hatched. This one, this hive here definitely, actually I believe all three of these hives right here swarmed. This is all brood. You can see some larvae down here.
That bee sounds pissed off.
Yeah. definitely. I don't see a queen. What are they doing up in here? There's a lot going on here. Oh, those are brand new larvae in there. Oh, those are eggs. I think those are eggs. Look deep in those cells. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell. Are you getting focused?
I think so. I don't know how close I can get.
That with that camera,
There,
probably
there.
not that close.
That's good.
So you want to be very careful with this frame. I don't see a queen. And there's not a lot of bees to look at, but I want to still be very careful with this frame. Okay. Alrighty. We got more brood. And larva. See the larva? Bottom. The little worms in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the larva, baby bees. I don't see any queen on this frame. Got a lot of brood on this one here. Gotta get the sun so I can see the look for the queen. I don't see a queen here. No queen. Still want to be very careful though. Okay. More brood. Very good sign. Lots of larvae. Very, very good sign. If all these youngsters hatch, or however they call it, I don't even know what it's called, this will be a very healthy hive. Got a lot of brood. Wow, a lot of brood on this side too. A ton of brood. I don't see a queen, but I see a lot of brood. So we're gonna definitely. This one could be iffy. We might have a queen.
Do queens leave to go mate more than once?
Just once.
Just once.
And they are mated. That's why when you buy a queen, you buy a mated queen.
Why does that bee look different?
Yeah, some of them just do look different. That one there doesn't look very healthy. All right, so more brood. Pollen, you can see the pollen, nice orange pollen down there. Looks like, I can't tell. I can't tell what's in here without my glasses on.
I think it's larva.
Could be.
I see white.
See this one here?
Mm-hmm.
This bee here, cleaning off the other bee.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a job. All right. Don't see a queen. I see a superseder cell right here. Some brood and some larvae right there, about ready to be capped over. I don't see any eggs.
That next frame looks pretty full of bees.
Probably gonna start getting into the honey this far out, but hopefully not. I like to see brood right now. A lot of it. The more brood, the better. Okay, we got some capped honey here. We have what appears to be, I think those might be, no, I can't tell. Can't tell if it's just nectar, the shiny stuff. It might just be
Right
nectar. Yeah, all this shiny right here. That might be just nectar. kept over honey. Pollen right there.
The back side of that has a lot of bees on it.
Okay. Don't see a queen over here, but I don't think I would because it's not a brood frame. Honey, nectar, pollen. This is all pollen. This is all food. They're working it. Now those are bees that don't look bored.
Still no queen though.
No, and there probably wouldn't be on that far out.
Okay.
She would be on the brood. This is going to be honey. I'm not even going to break this. Looks like honey all the way across there. I'm going to put this back. So no evidence on these two of a queen, but looking better than they were last week. I will say that much. A lot better, actually. So I'm going to give them another week or a week and a half. We'll see.
I'm gonna need a swimming pool.
There's a kiddie pool over there.
Gross.
Looks a little bit like lake water, but now this is the hive that originally I thought was just completely dead, but seemed to have bounced back, and we found a queen in this one last week. So let's see if she's done anything since we saw her last.
Y'all look at the beautiful artwork from my sister-in-law, Michelle.
Yep. She does some really great work.
She has her own hives and she's very creative.
Okay. So still we have some frames here that are nothing on them, both sides. Some activity here in the middle. This is the one that we found the queen in last time. Let's see if we find any evidence that she has been laying. Nothing at all. They're all three of these frames.
No progress.
A little bit of drawn out, but not much. It's a very, very weak hive. Hopefully the queen we saw, they took to her. Didn't kill her off. Nothing.
There's still activity on the front side coming in and out.
Yeah.
Well, that's more than I thought it was.
One thing I haven't seen in any of these hives are small hive beetles.
That's good.
Let's see a single one. All right, so we have pollen around the outside. We got larvae and we have brood. Looking for a queen. Don't see her. There's not a lot of frames of activity here, so we're going to see her. It's going to be on one of these too. Here she is. Got her.
Is that?
Yep, right there. See her?
I saw her right when you did. She's good size.
She's good. She's much bigger than she was last week, remember? She's moving around nice too. Let's put her right back in here so we don't hurt her.
Awesome.
Let's close this thing up.
So 2 for 2. 2 out of 4. I mean.
Okay. So the first hive and the last hive both have visual sightings of a queen and activity. And the two middle hives, we could not find a queen, but we found some activity. So we don't know what's going on yet. And before we go and spend money on queens, we're going to wait and see what happens. Let's give them another week, week and a half. That was a good inspection.
That was
Better than last week, let's put that.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah. I'm not happy with the fact that it's taken this long. I'm going to go ahead and chalk it off to the horrible storms we had for months, but and maybe my lack of knowledge of being a first-year beekeeper, you know. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking with us. Honeycomb Holler. Like and subscribe. It really helps. We really do appreciate you guys' support. Y'all take care.